Type 9. you guys doing today? Welcome back to another live stream. You already know what day it is. It is Friday. I hope you guys are having a great morning. Welcome into the stream. All of you beautiful people, welcome back, welcome back. We have a loaded packed stream today. I'm going to be going through some really important stuff that I hope will help you guys. You guys know the drill by now. We go, making sure that you guys have a great time here. Just sit back, relax, sip on that coffee, eat that bagel, eat that cornflakes, have that Captain Crunch peanut butter, while I do all the heavy lifting for you, right? And remember, if you're here and this is your first time, make sure you smash that like button and hit subscribe, right? All right, let's get this started because I don't want to waste no time today. We have quite limited time. I'm going to try and cover everything so that we can get it done. I do have a very, very, very special announcement towards the end of the stream. So definitely stick around to see what's going to be happening. And yeah, all right, cool. Let's get started. So back on the news for today, we have, as you guys know, we cycle through the news. We don't read it for anything except for entertainment basis, right? Just to kind of understand what's going on with how the news is being cycled. Is it bullish or bearish? And we usually take opposite stance of what the news is kind of going to say, right? So the last session, we had a lot of, the news was starting to hint some good news, but it seems like today we're back to the bearish stance again, which means that the market's going to continue chugging higher. And some job numbers just came out, I'm sure. Let's see. Let me just have a look at this real quick. So non-farm payrolls, much better than expected. Unemployment rate down, much better. Economy is showing good signs of rebound here. Non-farm payrolls with a very nice improvement. Obviously, we can see that the employment is starting to improve with the unemployment rate going down as well, showing the labor participation, showing a little slight recovery there. And yeah, private non-farm payrolls down as well. That's pretty good. I want to say, yeah, I think things are looking good. We're probably stated to zoom zippity zip. Do be careful of some rug pulls because I feel like there may be some supply zones up here that we may need to be careful of. Okay, but before getting into all of that, let's continue with the process. I don't like to jump things and skip over the most important part. So going over what I was saying earlier, the news is still cycling to be bad news. It says headlines on Bloomberg are lawmakers in 8 countries from New China to form new alliance to counter China. Okay, and then China says it will take necessary steps to on U.S. blacklist. There is also there was stocks gain on wave of stimulus ahead of jobs data. So I think the Congress is thinking of passing another $1 billion bill, which may or may not help the economy. And I think that no matter what it does, at this point, the Fed has already pledged its allegiance to be the Avengers. So we may just see, honestly, the market just melt up, right? You can't fight against the Fed. If the money printer goes brrr, what can you do, right? Floyd Memorial followed by 10th night of protests. Protests still going on across the country domestically. Conclave of America's top CEOs talk race and making change. Protesters grapple with coronavirus infection risk. Yesterday, there was also news that California's virus infection started going up after the protests. So some bad news cycled in, right? Overall, I see the news as bearish. And when the news is bearish, that means stocks are going up. And it's a simple philosophy that the stock market does opposite of what the news says, right? And you never wanna sell into bad news. That's just a rookie move. Like, it's something that you will learn over time. The news is purposely designed to mess you up in that way. So try to have a open mind when you're discussing things like that. And then let's see what else here. U.S. distribution of COVID-19 drug improved, but still wasn't enough. Blah blah blah. You can see clearly we have lots of bad news being cycled. Okay, so that's the general idea that I want to go for today. When bad news is cycled through, that's usually a bullish sign for the market. The market is not the economy. The market is a leading indicator of the economy. For you guys who have never seen the chart that I have posted on this this live stream multiple times, and for new people who are here for the first time, let's just go through it real quick again for the 15th time probably. For the 15th time, I will show this so that you guys can understand it, right? So as I said many times, the economy is not the stock market, right? And the reason why you said this is because when the market hits a bottom, that's when we are already pricing in a full recession, right? And we are usually 6 to 8 months ahead of the stock market, okay? And so when the market enters a bull market, right, which we have for the past 1 month, actually a month and a half almost, you can see that the bull market was already being priced in, right, ahead of the market bottom. So that's the reason why stocks were going up when the market was and the news was bearish. It's because when the market was at the bottom, we were already pricing in a full recession when the drop happened. And then as the market recovered, we started pricing in a bull market. So you got to understand how that works. Now, many people will not buy here and they will miss the entire run, which is what has already happened, right? We are somewhere here now, right? Somewhere in the middle, about to go back up to the all-time high. And then right on top of the all-time high, we have the market top, right? Which is a little higher than the all-time high, but right before the next fall, okay? So many retail investors, they buy here, and then they ask themselves why they get in late, right? And so the main thing that you got to understand is that when you are at the top, you don't buy. You buy when you're at the bottom, okay? So this is why the economy is not the market, and you have to understand this. You have to understand. We are always 6 to 8 months ahead of the market, okay? Great. Just to put that out there real quick, okay? Next thing that we want to go through is the pre-market movers. Airlines still with big moving, right? We have American Airlines, still a big mover here, almost up 30%. AAL, a bunch of other airlines as well doing nicely. Some other company here, not sure what this is, up 129%. Jabezos, wow. Luckin Coffee, definitely wouldn't touch that stock, just because probably a pump and dump at this point. And the rest of them are not really that important. Once again, news was really good. Expect the market, there we go. Expect the market to kind of melt up here a little bit. And surge higher for intraday, and then followed by a sell-off to lock in profits. That would be my guess for today. The theme is going to be buy and then sell. We're going to go green to red, more than likely. So I'm not sure we'll end the day lower than where we started, but we're most definitely going to end the day, at a point where we would correct down. So just be careful of that. Don't be overcommitting yourselves to any positions over the weekend. Remember that your friend, Mr. Theta, unlike you, who's chilling and, having popsicles and whiskeys over the weekend, Mr. Theta's working very hard, and he's going to drain your capital, okay? Welcome in, guys. I hope you guys are having a great Friday. Make sure you smash the like button. That's all I ask of you. And subscribe if you haven't, okay? Great. What else did I want to go? Okay, so before I go through the technical update on SPY, I want to point out something that I was inspired by this idea from Adam Koo, who is a trader who I respect very greatly. He is another YouTuber, and he has also a very, great theory on why this market may continue to run up, right? And I believe he brought up 5 very prominent points, but I'm just going to highlight 3 of them so that you can understand my reasoning, and I do fully agree with him. So let's see if I can explain this, accurately so that you can understand it. So if you look at the 20-year average of the S&P 500 index market capitalization versus the Federal Reserve M2 money supply, right? You can see that that gives you a liquidity analysis of stocks, okay? And basically, whenever this is below, right, the average, you can see what happens. We snap back to reality, back up, right? And you can see right now, we have actually recently we're actually showing signs of recovery, but we haven't gone to a normalized level here, which means to say that stocks are still relatively cheaper, right? Relatively cheaper when you compare them to money supply. Okay? So you got to take into account this and understand it. If you are taking into account the fact that money supply has been abundant, well, look at the fact that, you know, money supply has been abundant, but stocks are still relatively cheap historically, right? You can see these levels, which were pre 2008 financial crisis levels, and then you have the dot-com bubble, right? This is the dot-com bubble. This is the 2008 financial crisis. We had a couple of periods that dipped below the 20-year average, and now we are here again, right? And after these periods, the S&P 500 market cap goes above the 20-year average, which means to say we have room to move up. And so the S&P 500 still could see movement up, okay? And that's something I want to point out. Now, the next thing is a report from the IG client sentiment. Now, actually, this one's a really interesting one, because think about it this way, okay? Look at the client positioning for all participants in the market, okay? This is the stock market moving up, okay? And look at the net shorts versus the net longs right here, okay? Can you see the pattern? Every time that the net shorts, right, are above the net longs, we can see the prices of stock market going up, okay? And when you see that when the the net shorts are diverging or converging towards the net longs, then we see a convergence of the stock market. And you can see right now we're clearly on a warpath upward. Why? Because everybody is net short. We have very few traders who are net long. And so this is a very big problem, because we don't have any buyers. Well, we don't have any sellers that are left in this market, right? We have too many sellers out there, but not enough buyers, causing this problem that we can see over here, okay? So I just want to point out that as well. There, in fact, are the number of sellers are outweighing the number of buyers by 3 to 1, okay? So think about that for a second. Okay, great. I've covered that. Going into the spike technicals, we are still on a warpath through a upward trend. We have breached all levels that were causing any resistance to this market going up, right? And we are officially broken out now. Obviously, we cannot possibly sustainably go up all the way to this 100% retracement, but we can most definitely make a couple of pit stops, right, before we go back up there. So keep that in mind. We will be hitting up there, but it will happen in waves of impulse and corrections. Okay, great. So that concludes the technical update for SPY. Also, take into account that the RSI is now overbought, right? And it's going to be continually overbought for a while now, and obviously it could continually go higher. So just keep that in mind. Okay. Hello there, welcome in, guys. I hope you guys are doing great. Make sure you smash that like button. Just came in here to say hi. Before I continue on, I know that there are a lot of new traders from Option Swing here, and I want to give a shout out to Option Swing. If you're here from Option Swing, thank you for stopping by, spending your time, investing in this live stream. And yeah, I want to go through some important concepts today with regards to timing positions with waves, okay? And I always tell everybody, for new traders especially, you have to view the stock market as a human being, okay? There are a series of wave patterns that the market goes through, right? A stock never moves up like this, right? A stock always moves up like this, like this, like this, like this, like this, like this. And the reason why it does that is because there are a series of buyers who push the price up, and then a series of sellers that push the price down, right? And then a series of buyers that push the price up again, and then a series of sellers that push the price down. So you have to take into account that when this happens, you have to understand how waves work, okay? So how do you avoid getting caught holding the bag? Well, if you see and let me tell you the most basic mistake that people make, okay? The most basic mistake that people make is when the stock is moving up, they absolutely do not buy here, right? They don't buy here. Oh boy, it's lagging. Let me try this again. They don't buy here and they don't buy here, but what they do is on the top is where they get in. And then after the top is in, they start to buy here, whereas the rest of the market is selling, right? And then they sell here, getting rid of their loser, and right after they do that, the market starts to push back up again, and they end up buying here again because they saw that it goes up again, right? Now, how do you avoid this? Well, there are a couple of ways, right? The first thing that you do is whenever you see an impulsive wave, we call this an impulsive wave. Whenever you see an impulsive wave, you always remember never to chase this impulsive wave unless it is the first impulsive wave. If a stock makes a higher high from a previous high, and this is the first time that it did that, you would never get in over here. What you would do is wait for this stock to validate this old high as a support. This is one thing that many new traders do not do. This is what we call confirmation. Once a stock has made a high and is correcting downward, which is what we call a corrective wave, we wait for a confirmation for it to test this old level as support. Once it confirms as a support and doesn't break below to make another low, we can now buy over here on a slightly better volume. Now, if you don't feel comfortable buying here, you can add to a position here. Many people try to catch the top and the bottom, and they lose a great deal of money trying to do this. What you really need to do is catch this instead of catching this. You need to catch a very small frame of what you're aiming at instead of trying to catch the entire wave, okay? So don't try to catch the whole wave. Try to catch a small frame of the wave and try to do this consistently at a high success rate. And I hope that helps you out a little bit. So remember never to FOMO into these positions because it will be very tempting to chase a stock. Now, let me give you an example. An example, right, would be, I think it was, what was the stock yesterday that was rallying like crazy? There was a stock like going like nuts yesterday. I think it was let's try AAL. Where a lot of airline stocks were rallying yesterday. So let's go AAL and pull American Airlines up so that I can show you what I mean. Okay. Now you can see what I mean over here. Okay. Now you saw the stock break out of a resistance zone, right? And you saw it making a high, right? And then you saw the corrective and you're like, I'm not gonna buy it here, right? And then it made another high, right? And then you were like, the problem is that majority of traders get in over here. This is where majority of traders buy. And this is the problem. It's because you get in when you're at a peak. You need to wait for the corrective wave down, right? And wait for the stock to cool off. And then enter on the break when it breaks the resistance. And it has to have some good volume. And the OBV has to be pointing up. And this over here would be your entry point for AAL. Okay? So if you put this together with the watch list that we have on Option Swing, it's a pretty simple idea, right? Many people ask me how to use the watch list and they're confused about it, but the watch list is a simple list that puts together support and resistance zones that allows you to visualize supply and demand. If you have the pattern smart indicator, right, that I use, you would already see majority of the watch list levels on there. So you have to realize that these numbers are literally numbers of support and resistance that we identify for you so that you don't need to do that, okay? And so if you see, for example, AAL breakout, right? Then would you enter right at the breakout? Well, no. What you would do is wait a couple of candlesticks. You could have got in here, you could have got in here, right? My point is, stop trying to capture the whole thing. Stop trying to be greedy to capture everything. Your goal should be to capture a small percentage. Enter here, exit here, take 20%, but do it consistently, day in, day out. And that's how you become a trader. A professional trader doesn't aim for 100% every day. That is unrealistic and it is unreliable as a strategy, okay? Now, there is obviously much more to this that I want to teach you, but because of time constraints and the fact that, this is all going to be available on the mentorship course, I do not want to go too much into this, okay? Now, a lot of this stuff will be available on the mentorship course, and there is going to be more information about the mentorship course that comes out soon. I'm not going to say much about it right now, but there will be more information that's provided about it. But I want to tell you that there's more to this than meets the eye. If any monkey could use a mouse and a keyboard and just visualize these levels and buy and sell here, right? Everybody would be a millionaire, okay? And so because the market is not designed that way, you have to realize that there are far more forces that work into this than we think there are, all right? I wanted to just go through that real quickly, and I hope that helps you out, okay? So just to understand how you don't get trapped into this. Now, another common question that I get is, well, now I'm in profits. What do I do? How do I know when to cut? How do I know when to get out of this position? Well, the question you should be asking yourself is, why do you want to get out of the position when you can move your stop loss up? And if you haven't thought of the idea of setting a stop loss, for example, you enter your position here, right? AAL rallies to here, right? Now, you've locked in this much of profit, for example, right? Now, if you locked in that much of profit, what you need to realize is that you need to automatically set a stop loss right at your entry point, right? So that you can't lose any more money. You cannot lose on this position if you set your entry as your stop loss. You will lose zero every single time. And since you're in profit, if the stock comes down and hit your stop, which it did, you would lose. So you can see that market makers are constantly doing this, and you have to be careful. So that's the reason why I tell my mentees never to set stops at resistance levels or support levels. Okay? You have to always set them a little higher or a little lower so that you don't get dipped out by a market maker, because the market maker is going to sell into your position, which is a limit order, close you out, and then head higher. Okay? And this is exactly what a market maker is supposed to do. So keep that in mind. Now, how do you adjust your stop loss? Well, if the stock continues, what do you do is, first of all, you set your stop below, right? Then as the stock comes down, it doesn't hit your stop. Oh, well, guess what? You're still in the position. Now it starts to go back up. Now, if the stock opens up the next day and gaps higher, guess what? You're in a major profit now, right? And your position's still running. Well, you still have your position open. Why? Because your stop loss is way down here. Now what do? You simply move your stop loss up. You simply move it higher. And you keep moving it higher every time the stock goes higher. You keep moving your stop loss higher and higher and higher until you have made enough profits. The stock comes down, hits your stop loss, and you're out. This is how you do not leave money on the table, number one, and manage your risk. Okay? So I hope that helps you out. And I'm going to try and answer some of your questions now. Some feedback would be appreciated. If you really like the way that I broke this down for you, let me know. Let me know so that I know I'm heading in the right direction here. Okay? Great. So, all right, let's see what's going on here. Welcome into the stream, guys. Appreciate you guys being here. Make sure you click on the like button if you found any of the things that I just discussed helpful. And subscribe if this is your first time here. I welcome you into the stream. We do this every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. This is a stream partnered with Option Swing, a community of almost 1,350 traders trading options and helping each other on a daily basis. I am the educator of the platform, and I hope that you find this stream useful as helpful and enjoyable as I enjoy doing this stuff. So great. Okay, awesome. So let's have a look at it. Alrighty. So good morning. I like the music. This is actually type 9. I answered that question earlier. Ooh, these breakdowns coming in hot. Okay, I'm gonna do the breakdowns in a second. Let me see what you guys are talking about first before I start the breakdowns. I realize once I start going through the breakdowns, it's like a hole that never ends. So let me see if there are more important questions to be answered, and then I will get to the breakdowns. And I promise I won't leave yours out. I'll come back all the way to the top here. Okay, so let's see. Good morning. Can you show us how we can check volume on the watch's strike price if we are on a mobile? Well, I use TradingView, and you can use TradingView as well. Use two types of volumes to validate your positions. Okay, you need to use OBV, which is the blue line that I have streaking through the charts. That is a momentum indicator together with volume, and then a regular volume bar that shows you the total volume. See, the thing is, many people don't know this, and I'm going to let you in on a secret. These volume bars on the bottom, they don't tell you anything about the volume. They actually only tell you what color this candlestick is above it. So if this candlestick is red, the volume bar is red. If this candlestick is green, the volume bar is green. It doesn't say anything about this being bullish or bearish. Okay? So you have to realize that these are tricky because you need to pair this with OBV to figure out if volume is indeed flowing in or flowing out. Okay? That's something that I go through in the mentorship program. So I just want to point that out for you. You can use TradingView. What do you think on Goldman Sachs? You have to give me a bit more context to that question. What are day trade options we're watching for today? Check out the watch list on the Discord. Top of the AM, good morning to you too. Okay, what's your take on low? On intraday, what are best time frames to confirm the support levels to catch the wave up? Excellent question. Intraday, I like to use 5 minute, and if you don't want to get such a heart attack, I recommend using 15 minutes. Okay, so 5 minute or 15 minutes, those are the two that I recommend. They give you the best signals. All right. Wait, where do we go? I love you. I love you too. AL, definitely not gonna. Yeah, if you're here for the first time, definitely don't just throw tickers out there. I'm not gonna answer them. You got to put it in the right format, like this, like how Leon did. Put a ticker, put the strike, put the expiry date, and even the price even helps. That will help me to figure out what you're trying to get at. Okay, good stuff, man. You're welcome. Okay, he just answered all the questions. Great. Then I don't need to go through some of them. Okay. Let's see. I just logged on. Welcome in, man. Hopefully you like the stream. Remember, if this is your first time here, smash the like button. I really hope that we can get the likes up to like 100 today. There's 128 of you. It only takes 2 seconds to smash the like button, and I do this for the likes, man. I don't do it for money. I don't do it for anything. I just want you to like the video. That's all. It's not too much to ask, I think. Great. What did he say? If you can check, you will be able to watch the stream after it's done. There will be a replay posted. Well said. I've been a victim so many times chasing the market. This is really good stuff, guys. Make sure to internalize these concepts. Absolutely, man. And that's what I'm telling you guys. You need to understand these are concepts that, are very basic, but you need to understand them if you're a beginner. And many people are jumping to options, but they don't realize there are far more fundamentals that you need to understand. Liquidity, you need to understand risk, you need to understand what the market is doing in the background in terms of price action to really, really grasp the concept. Perfect, thank you, awesome. You are a great teacher, keep the good work. Thank you very much, I appreciate the kind compliments. All good info, learn so much, smash the like button. Thank you very much for saying that, good stuff. I'm a beginner, love the explanation, awesome. What overlay do you use on TradingView? I use a total of 4 indicators. If you're from Option Swing, it's in the education chat. If you go to education chat and you go to the top, look for the pinned post and search for a post that says indicator setup, you'll find it. Super helpful, you're welcome. Great information today. This was dope. Bring on Jason. Jason's coming on soon. You guys need to convince him, man. Honestly, get those likes up. If you get enough likes up, you know, Jason might come on. I think he's just not convinced at the fact that you guys are not liking these videos enough. Should I sell the okay? Yes. Let's see. Wait, Jason, what do you think of XLNX? Yes. I have a question. Can you explain how to do fib tool correctly? Absolutely, I can get to that. Find resistance and support. I have a video on this. Go to my YouTube channel. Go to youtube.com. Go to Everyday Growth Advisors. Click on my channel. Right. Click on my channel. Go to videos. Actually, go to playlists. Click on active investments. Scroll down here, and there is a video right here for support and resistance. You can find that right there, along with my rest of the technical analysis series, which I strongly urge you to watch. Okay. Great info. Didn't know this. You're welcome, man. How do you add OBV on TradingView? Simply go to the FX symbol here. Click on that. Type OBV. That's how simple. The one that says on balance volume. It's a built-in indicator. All right. Is Discord just for members? Yes, it is. Unfortunately, just for members. First time on your live session. Thanks, Taryn. We'll join more. Have a good day. Subscribe and set on my notification. Awesome, man. Welcome to the channel. I'm glad that you found it helpful. All right. What did I want to do right now? That was something that I wanted to do. Okay, we're gonna get to the tickers, but right before I do, I just want to make an announcement for all of you guys that came here today. And if you're from Option Swing, I just want to let you know, I promised that I was going to make an announcement, and I just want to let you know that today, in about 2 hours or so, I will be posting a video on the YouTube channel, and it's going to be my first ever podcast with none other than Kevin Fomo. I have completed our first podcast together, and I'm gonna give you guys a little teaser. So I hope that you like it, and the full one will be up.
All right, awesome. Welcome into the Everyday Growth.
That's all you get. Just a little tease, you know, because I know that you guys are kind of drooling over the fact that Kevin Fomo might get on a podcast. Well, he actually did, and so I'm really hoping that you guys will like this one. We actually spent a lot of time discussing some really interesting stuff, and so I'm gonna post a video about 2 hours from now, right after the live stream, and it will go live, and I'll post the link up in the Everyday Growth channel. You guys feel free to listen to it later, and I hope that you enjoy it. All right, let's get to these technical breakdowns. I like to leave these to the end purposely because they're like a whole, man. Once I start, it's never ending. So, all right, let's get through these as quick as I can. DXCM. Remember, rules for technical breakdowns that I do not cover stocks that are less than 10 billion in market cap, and I absolutely will not cover the stock if you don't put it in the right format. You need to give me a ticker symbol, the strike that you're looking at, and the expiry, so that I know what you need help with. Also, it would help if you write a little explanation of what you actually need me to do. And I would really appreciate it if you could just smash the like button. That's all I ask for when I do these streams, right? It's not really hard. You just gotta smash the like button and click subscribe if you haven't already, because I would love to see you here again. All right? Awesome. Let's get to it right now. So I'm gonna do my DXCM stock. Let's see and check if this is a 10 billion market cap. Awesome, it is. Dexcom, company that manufactures, distributes continuous glucose monitoring systems for diabetes. Zam. All right, let's have a look at it. So I'm gonna do this. Switch around my thingamajig. DXCM 380 calls. June 19. Your expiry seems a little close to me. 380? Nah. Too far away, I'm sorry. I don't, oh, actually, hold up, sorry, my bad. I wasn't looking at it right. It's looking bearish to me. Couple of things, right? First things first. Stock made a high, a double top, failed to break out of resistance, and then after that made lower highs. You can see that. Failed to break out of this resistance again, right? It may come up for a third time to try. If it does, you'll get lucky. If it doesn't, it's going to bounce and it's going to use this this moving average right here as resistance before coming back down. So that's the way that I see this going. It looks bearish and bullish to me. The candlesticks are trading below the moving averages, and volume has been flowing out of the stock. Okay, so keep that in mind, and that will be important to note for this. Okay, all right, cool. Next one, let's have a look. All right. Still holding over weekend DKNG 37 619 and 41 626. DKNG. I don't recommend holding anything over the weekend, but it's up to you, man. I mean, if you feel comfortable with it, then sure, go ahead. But I don't like donating to Mr. Theta. That's the thing about me. By the way, you didn't tell me if these were calls or puts. I'm gonna go ahead and guess that you meant calls. 37 619, that should be in the money. You should be selling that off and taking some profits off there if you have more than one contract. 41 626 looking good. Definitely could go up there again easily. So I don't see any problems with this position. I think you could hold on. Volume's looking good. Moving average is looking good. Stocks trading above the 50 moving average, as using it as resistance. Strong uptrend. Yeah, I don't see any problems with this position at all. I think you have a good position. Okay, Uber 5141. I really like Uber. Personally, I really like Uber. I've been watching it for a while, since it was 36. And Leon, you know that. I've been calling it out in the mentorship, right? The mentorship group that we have on Slack. Once again, breaking out of this zone here. Uber looking super bullish. Consolidation of volume above. Let's see if we can get a nice break with some volume. The only thing that has been kind of denying me to take this position is the fact that volume has been relatively flat. Total volume I'm talking about. You can see that OBV echoes the sentiment on the bottom here. And so I will wait for some increased volume to take this position. Okay. Awesome. What is your take on work? I don't know, man. You tell me what is your take, and then I'll try to help you out. You know what I mean? I can't, like, if you tell me what's my take, it's going to be a 50-50 split, because that's just the way it is. All right. Should I sell my AAL $17 strike contracts and BA 200? I don't have a expiry, man. I need your expiry. Work $42 call 619. Work 40. Oh, nah, cut that one. Cut that one, man. Big volume flowed out. Yeah, I mean, like, you'd be thinking it might make a rebound, but nah, definitely. You don't have enough time for that to happen, in my opinion. See, stocks won't just rebound after a drop like that. It's not going to just go la-di-da-di-da right back up. It's going to most probably consolidate here for a while, have a sideways channel, and then go up, right? So that's my sentiment on that. Visa 205 call 626. Visa 205 call 626. Looking a little nicer, but 205, wow. It is looking bullish to me, but volume has started to flow out of the stock, if you can look at that. It has been kind of ranging between this, 8.5 to 1% level, showing that buyers and sellers are in a constant flux. So you might want to consider taking Visa only on a break with good volume here, right? You need a clean break above 197 or 198 to consider this as a upside play. Right now, I don't see the case for Visa. I mean, I don't see the case for it going up to 205 by the end of June. That's the thing. AAL calls for $13, expires in July. Should I hold or should I sell? Already in profit. Sell, lock in those profits. Nobody's gone broke taking profits, bros. I just answered all those questions. Great. Just logged on. Okay. All right. Awesome. Glad that you guys are here. Welcome into the stream, guys. I hope you guys are having a great day. Make sure you smash that like button. There's 140 some of you guys, and it only takes 2 seconds to hit the like button. Honestly, guys, it will really make my day, and I really hope that you can just do it. Just do it like Nike. All right. All right. Okay, so somebody was asking me how to use a fib tool. Now, there are many methods to use fibs, and my preferred method of using a fib tool is purely for only retracements. I don't like to use it for extensions because it can be a little wonky. Now, the reason why fibs are wonky for extensions is because the 61.8 golden ratio is like a moving target when you use it as an extension. For example, if I were to try and forecast out the fib extension from here to the top, well, where am I forecasting my level out to? You see what I mean? This would be the 62, right? But you would have to pair this out with a a previous level of support and resistance, right? So let's say you were to use this on a 4-hour chart, because I like to see more price action here, right? So let's say you're using a 4-hour chart and you're trying to price this out, right? So, okay, let's say I take this swing low from here, and then I would have to use the swing low to go up to a swing high. And since we've already breached this level here, you need to go to the next swing high, which would be this level here, right? So then you draw your swing high here, but then you see how you don't have many fib extensions up above this. So the swing low to the swing high doesn't give you much over here. You would have to draw a swing high to a swing low from this level here. So what you have to do is pull the 339 down to the 276. So how do you do that? You draw the fib. You take this one out first of all. Right? Take this one out. And then you got to draw it downward. So 339 down to this level here. Now you can see the extension up, right? But the problem is, at this point, you are forecasting where the fib is going to be. So you have to understand that this may not be accurate, right? So you can have the zones, but in my opinion, it's not a very easy way to understand where this is going to go. Now, what I do like to use fibs for is for a retracement, right? And let me show you what I mean. If you have a swing high to a swing low and you want to find out where the stock is going to retrace back, now that's easy. Plotting the swing high to the swing low, you can see that this is the 50 level, right, where we were consolidating for a while. This is the 61.8, where we were consolidating for a while, right? So you can see that the retracement works much better than the extension. And personally, I think using it as a retracement is a far better idea than trying to use it extension. So just my 2 cents, and I hope it helps you out. Okay, fibs are used from a swing high to a swing low, and if you use the swing low, you can't use the swing low to do the swing high again. So if you're trying to figure out the swing low to the swing high, you can't go from here to the top. You have to use the next swing low, which is this one, and then plot it to the top here, and then you can get your extension. Okay, so that will be the retracement down, right? So you got to think about it that way. Okay, continuing on here. All right. Okay. I have a question. If bad news makes the market bullish since we're 6 to 8 months ahead, why does good news still make it bullish, such as AAL yesterday showing positive news? Actually, there was some bad news coming out for AAL yesterday, but airlines are now starting to price in. You need to understand that individual stocks make up the stock market, and not stock market makes up individual stocks. So AAL is part of the index. Now, if the economy is starting to open back up, then airline stocks are starting to be bought up, and they're pricing in a recovery. That's the reason why those individual stocks are going up. I hope that helps to understand. I make you understand what I'm talking about. Okay. How can you prevent or handle hesitation on plays, or do I have to trust my research? I hesitated on BA plays when it was 159 last week. Also, UNP when it was now both nearing $200. Absolutely, you have to trust your instincts and your research, because the truth of the matter is, if you know that you trust your own analysis, then nothing will stop you back from making a trade. And it's all about building confidence. The hallmark of a great trader is knowing where his strength lies and playing to it. If you know that you're risk averse, and it does sound to me like you're risk averse, then you have to use that to your advantage and play it to a certain degree. Okay? You're such a great teacher. Thank you so much. There are several watches on the website. Is there one in particular you would recommend? I recommend the watches that we post on Option String. We have a customized watch list that we post every day. This is what the watch list looks like. Let me show you. So we post the watch list every day, right? For example, today's watch list looks like this, right? We have, wait, let me just confirm that this is today's. Yes, it is today's. So we have, and sometimes our watch list is long, sometimes it's short. Like yesterday, our watch list had a couple of big winners, right? And some days the watch list doesn't have winners. You can see, like this day, we had a couple with no movement at all. Well, the thing is, you got to understand that our watch list changes based on the seasonality of the stocks. So if we see a certain sector going up and down, then you gotta understand, you gotta trade stock that you're comfortable with, especially stocks with good fundamentals above 10 billion market cap. Avoid any other stocks. Okay. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoy these weekly streams. Thank you. Exactly. Thank you very much for saying that, Jason. I appreciate you. If you're here for the first time, click on that like button and subscribe for more, so that when we go live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you're here sitting back with your coffee, chilling, and listening to me break the market down, as well as tickers, so you can learn further from everybody, right? How many likes for a mentorship discount? Ooh. Let's get 200 likes and I'll give you a mentorship discount. Holding Neo call 619 over the weekend, 5 and 550. What? Okay, let's see. Holding over the weekend. I mean, sure, if that's the way you want to roll, then I can't really say anything about that. But looks pretty. I mean, it looks like it's on a strong uptrend. Consolidation happening here as well. I do think that Neo at some point in time is going to come back down. Just be careful of the rug pull, man. It failed to break out at this level, and volume is consolidating nicely. But yeah, you might be okay with holding this over the weekend. I just don't recommend holding things over the weekend. That's all. It's my personal opinion, though. You can totally hold it if you want. Yes, I'm from Option Swing Bro. Welcome to the live stream, man. I'm glad that you're here. CCL calls 1750. Jan 21. Jesus, that's really far, man. You buying a leap? Zazaza. Ooh, okay, let's see. CCL, and you said 1750. That's in the money, bro. Looking a little bearish here. You might want to be careful. Stock is showing some outflows. It's been overbought here, so I recommend you taking profits off the table. Take profits off the table, man. You're in the money. Okay, ZI new IPO. I don't want to buy at high. Nike 717-105 call. I got excited and forgot to write a ticker earlier. Okay, gotcha. No problem. Just write it again and yeah, I got you, man. Okay. 105 call 717. You're good. You're good, bro. Hold it. You should be fine. Nike showing some really nice strength here. Obviously, there were some bouts of selling here and then some buying followed by, right? Big volume buying here. We can confirm if we look further on a separate time frame. But I can say that it's looking very bullish, right? And I think that it would be absolutely in your interest to hold that contract, especially You picked a very nice expiry as well, so hold that one and you should be fine. Lulu called June 19th. Should I sell today or hold the weekend? Absolutely sell today and take in your profits. Where do you think NEO is going? I don't know. It could go anywhere, in my opinion. I think it would go down before it goes back up further. That's my opinion. Boeing. I see 2 Boeing, so I'll do them both at the same time. You said 200 calls. 612. You guys are probably both in the money already, right? Yep, you guys are both in the money. So you guys are chilling. I would take in your profits and close out before the weekend is up. You don't want to hold those next week expiries, especially over the weekend, because your theater is going to just gillywhack you. So don't do that. UNP 185 626. UNP Union Pacific Corp. UNP. What is this stock? Railroad company. Ooh, interesting. Okay. Very bullish. Interesting price action here. And you said 185 calls for 626. 185 might be a bit far, man. I don't know. I mean, it certainly looks like it wants to go there, but whether it's going to go there by your strike is the question here. The thing is, your expiry is a bit too near. 185 is somewhere up here. Considering that it's going to make a couple of impulsive and corrective waves that might take a couple of weeks, you may be caught with draining of your contracts, and then, you know, I would roll them out if you are in profit to a later expiry. I went through those already. Disney 127 612. Disney 127 612. Let's have a look at them. You're already in the money. Take that profit, man. Don't be holding that thing over the weekend. Absolutely not hold it. Take your profits. You're in the money. Exit the position and smile with your profits. Can't wait to come on as a guest speaker. We need to get Jason here, man. You guys need to get this up to 120 likes so that we can get Jason here. He's the founder of Option Swing, by the way, for people who don't know. Let's smash that like button, guys, and subscribe if you haven't. Twitter 35 puts 619. All right, I'm gonna do a couple more of these, and then we're gonna call it a day. Let me see if I can answer a couple of other kinds of questions here. So I'll do Twitter first. How do you have OBV on the chart? Oh, okay. Let me show you. So when you get OBV, it's gonna be down here, right? All you do is grab the line itself and drag it up, and then it goes on this side. And when you do that, it's gonna have it's gonna be in the number of shares on this side. Can you see? What you do is you right click and change it to percent. I like to keep my units all the same, so you just right click and hit percent there. All right, Twitter. Like. How much is the mentorship? More details will be released about the mentorship. Just stay tuned. We will definitely let you know soon. Okay. Okay. So let's see. On the watch list, if it says calls 2250 plus, does that mean the buy calls after it breaks through that price, or should be our strike price? Okay. I'm gonna say this for everybody who's asking questions about the watch list. Okay. This is like I think that I'm not understanding how come you guys don't get it yet, but the watch list are support and demand levels. This does not indicate any strike price. This is literally the level that you watch the stock to break. If, for example, CCL breaks above 2250 and breaks with good volume, okay, if today, for some reason, oh, it already did, right? Kind of, well, pre-market it did. So expect CCL to go up again to test that, right? You see how it broke? Okay, this is a prime example, right? Look, CCL broke 2250 with good volume, right? 2250 is up here, okay? 2250 with good volume. You see that? Good volume. How do you know the volume is good? It's higher than majority of the average volume. You can see this is good volume. This is average volume. This is bad volume, right? So there is a chance that this stock will run higher. So CCL looks like it will run higher today. So be conservative and enter one contract first. And the instructions for what strike you take is usually one strike out. Now, if you can't get 23.50, get 23 or 24. Okay? I hope that really helps you, okay? Like, I really can't break this down much simpler than this. All right. Thank you for helping me buying my first options with your tips. You're welcome, man. How much likes do we need to hit to do the stream Monday to Friday? I want to say, honestly, if this stream gets to an average of about 500 viewers every day, I will do a Monday to Friday stream. Promise. I will get, if we get 500 viewers every single day from Monday to Friday, from Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I will do a Monday to Friday stream every single day. I will do it 100%. Okay, no questions asked. Is there another sale price to join option swing anytime? Absolutely. Unfortunately not right now. You can message me. So if you're looking to enter option swing at a discount though, you can message me and ask me for a referral code. I'll send you a 25% off for your first month. If you want to check it out. Okay. Message me on Instagram. My Instagram username is in the description below. It's Everyday Growth Advisor with no S. And just DM me, and then I will give you the first month at 25% off. Okay, great. Let's complete Twitter, and then that's it for today. Remember, if you guys want your stuff to be called out and broken down, put those in earlier, right? If you snooze, you lose, right? Twitter 35 put 619. This will be the last one that I do for the day because the market's about to open up, and I want to be there to close my positions. 35 puts for Twitter is looking decent, actually. Yeah, I think this should be good. Now, why do I think this is good? Here's why. Twitter broke out of this resistance on low volume, right? You can see that the on-balance indicator barely moved up. Didn't even make a higher high here. It's barely where it was, right? So this may be a fake breakout. Also, it's going to be pressured down to cover this gap. So 35 puts here makes sense completely. I agree with this play. You could write it down to at least 33. Exit your positions for profit here. And if you have more than one contract, you can exit another position at 31.80 or so, somewhere here. All right. Awesome. I am very happy to have you guys here. Thank you for being here. Smash that like button if you haven't. Subscribe if you haven't. Remember that in exactly 2 hours, I am going to be putting out the first podcast ever by the EGA with Kevin Fomo as our guest, who is a millionaire trader, part of Option Swing, who has been on a crazy roll. This month, this man has made no losses. I think very minimal losses. He has been on a roll, okay, like a crazy roll. All right. So I hope that you guys like the stream. I will see you guys back on Monday for a fresh stream. Have a great weekend. Take care. Godspeed. I love you guys. And ta-ta.